So this is recording now.
The other question is, do you want us to do this without indicators?
You shouldn't need indicators for this.
Okay.
So this is record. Yeah, you shouldn't need anything for this. Um, I'll do another one just to show you one more time what I'm looking for. Right. So go to the hour, find the midnight candle. It's right here. Then find the 3 a.m. candle. That is right here. Midnight. Oops. 3 a.m. Then go to the 15-minute. Right. And I want you to note the high of that period that we marked off, which is right here, 34,804 flat. Then I want you to mark the low of the period and any lows that are included. So in this case, you would have had this low right here, but just at 3 o'clock it made a new low. So since those are so close, I'm only going to count the 3 o'clock low, right? And then once you recognize this low, I want you to start to just annotate this throughout the rest of your trading, right? Because what you'll notice is this is when this 12 a.m. candle is typically when the algorithms that most banks use begin at midnight. And we look for our trading day to start at 9 a.m., 8 a.m., but those algorithms usually kick in around midnight and they start pushing and giving traces of where they might go in London, because that's when the algorithm starts. That's when you have other like hedge funds that have algorithms that are trading for them. They typically begin around that same time and you start to get more volume in the market. What will happen is wherever there is liquidity during this time period, they're usually going to snatch that liquidity and go in a different direction, like they did right here. So this high, they left it alone, right? They made this low, they left it alone until they got right here and they start grabbing the liquidity. They snatched it, pushed the market down, snatched the liquidity underneath here, and then they ran the market up, right? They did this again over here. They gave you a high, they gave you a low. They swept the liquidity, they ran the market up. And they ran the market up to another area of institutional order flow. They ran it into an order block. So you had a high, you had a low, you had a sweep, then you had a run into this order block. So this is the setup that I want you guys to start looking for if you're going to be trading that time frame. It's not all the time you're going to get it, but when you get it, it's very, very, very profitable because it'll get you into the trades sooner, and you can probably end up being in the mood for the day. You know, getting in the mood for the day, the entire day, and not have to worry about getting out your trade. So, like I know, like Chin, I know you work, you know, your schedule. You want to get in there, you know, during London and stuff like that. So this might be something to help you take a look at that. Something to consider taking a look at. You know, I'm gonna do it one more time. So on this particular day, right here, you got your low, here. And then you have your high that was made right at 3 over here. You also had this little short-term high that was here. And now you can see, okay, we had this high that held most of this session. Then we made this low. From this low, it swept this high right here and made this high. We traded into an order block. It rejected it and it dropped and it gave you this move, right? This would have been a setup that you would have been able to get in and just take this trade somewhere around here to here, and you would have just been able to ride this, you know, put your stop loss. You would have at least got 200 pips out of this, you know, from here to here. That is about 150 pips. So that's still a good move. You know, if you had got in a really good move or a really good entry, you would have been able to ride this throughout all of this up and down movement until it made this expansion to the downside right here. Because getting in up here, you never would have had to move your stop loss, you know, so. Let me see what you did, Trees. Yep. Yep. But like I said, don't use anything I already used. I want you to use a whole different chart. Like open up a random pair, like open up USD Mexico, like open up that, you know, or open up like, you know, USD try, you know, open up that, you know, don't use something you pretty much know already. That way you can, you know, you can see this with some fresh eyes and fresh logic, you know. So I want you guys to do that, right? And I'm telling you guys ahead of time, but I want you guys to see this because I just want to show you how to take a certain setup that will happen during that time frame, and it's a liquidity sweep right here, just like what happened today. And that's kind of the reason. That's the reason why I brought it up, because I saw it on the chart and we made this high, we made this temporary low, and then we made this low and it swept this low right here, but it never broke and closed underneath this low. And then it ran up on this trade and it traded into, it took this high out again and it took this high out and it traded back into this order block. So I want you guys to learn this, especially if you cannot make, like, if you guys can't get on the sessions for pre-New York, you know, or you want to be the person to trade in the afternoon, you know, this is a good way. It's a good thing to look at, you know.
Corey, I must be missing something, but can you go over that one more time, please?
Yeah, yep, yep. And it's better anyway because now it's recording, so y'all can actually get it on the recording, right? So let me go to a random pair. And the random pair of today is going to be USD SCX. Absolute random pair. I don't trade this. Don't want to trade this. We're going to annotate. Where is the midnight candle? On the 1 hour. And then where is the 3 a.m. candle? Right? Then once we know where those candles are, I want you to annotate where is the high, which is here. On the 15-minute, you can analyze it. Where is the high and where are the lows and short-term lows, right? So we have a low here at this level, and then we had another low at this level right here. And we're
Corey, are
gonna
you
look.
annotating this?
Yeah,
Must be real light.
really
Okay.
light.
I say it must be real light. I can hardly see.
Let me
Okay.
yeah, let me make it darker then.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, so that's our high. This is our short-term low. And then of that session, this is our low, right? And I want you to monitor price once it pulls out of this area. In this case, the price dropped 19.6 pips, found a low and then ran. This didn't give you a clean setup, but it did give you something to focus on because once it broke out of here, you got this drop right here. But let's see if I see it again on any, I see it happen over here. So here is the 3. Here is midnight, right here. And then there's your low. There's your high. There's a short-term low here. And then there's the low that it made, right? You could have been looking at this as if we sweep out of this low once, we swept this again, we did not rebalance this area, and then we pushed up from there. And you would have had this whole run from here, this low to here, with the
So you
low
are
risk.
looking, sorry, you are looking immediately after that?
Right.
After you see, if any time during this time, you want to see where and when I get a short-term low
Mm-hmm.
or a short-term high taken out at
Okay.
any given time during this 12 to 3 o'clock hour. You're looking at what's being taken out. Is it lows or highs? If it's lows and it holds, you need to look for buys.
So we need to watch it live.
Yeah, you can watch this live, but this is just, you need to look for this on your homework so that way that you can start to know what to look for. Like, do your homework on this, right? So that way you'll know, all right, okay, this is what he's talking about. This is what he's seeing. So if we look over here, it looks like they took out short-term highs over here. So here's 12 o'clock. Here is 3 o'clock, right? And now if we look at this, right? We had our low right here. That's 12. That's 230. Oh, okay, so this is 3. Got our low right here. We had a short-term high here. And then we finally made highs over here, right? And you see what happened when we made these highs within this range, we rejected them here. And then we would have been able to set up for this drop over here. Short-term low, short-term high, short-term high, fake out to the downside, pushback, rejection, that's your entry right there. So right now, I've seen this setup, this one kind of not really messing with that, but 2 good setups for sure. This one and this one on this pair, right? Let me see one more example. Three. $12, right? Your high. Your low. This gave you, this didn't give you the exact same setup, but it gave you a range to trade out of, right? You could have took a break and retest right here to get this move to the downside. So even if it doesn't give you that reversal setup that I want you to find, you still got a break and retest setup from out of this range. And it's important that you focus on that midnight candle, because like I said, that's when algorithms start to trigger. Let's see what Z got. Z says high. There's your high. There's your low. You swept the low, traded back up near the high, reject. That's a good example. Just make sure that you note this low right here. And maybe even this high too, because we inside of this range, this high was made right here, and this low was made right here as well. So note those too. But these are the primary high. This is the primary high, and this is the primary low. But you do want to note these highs and these lows in there, because in a situation like this, price swept this high right here, and it swept this low. And then it came back to this last down candle, last up candle right here, and gave you this entry. You see it?
So we're pretty much going to be trading from that for the rest of the day, from where we mark up.
That's the goal.
Okay.
That is the goal. That is because when you find this kind of setup, if you had got in here or had you got in here, you don't need to get into no other trade, because you would have had this down move and this down move, and you would have been able to just hold through all of this. You see what I'm saying?
And that could have been like a set it and forget it type of trade.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. So that's kind of why I'm showing you this. Let me see what Anna got. That's why
Oh, are you checking these now while we're on here?
if you send it, I'll look at it.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Good job, Anna. So we had our high right here, intermediate low here. We swept it right here. And as soon as we swept it, we pushed right back up into the highs and swept this high. This gave you the drop for the rest of the day. You don't even have to think about this no more. And if you didn't get this, right? If you didn't get this, this tells you the direction the institutions want to go, right? So now you would have had this opportunity. Here's your fair value gap right here. And then here is the midpoint right here, roughly around here. You look for the price between this area. Actually, let me do one thing because I drew this wrong. The fair value gap is from this candle to this candle right here. And then now inside of this gap, you watching price to reach the equilibrium. That's here. Above here, you look for sales. Below here, you look for a possible buy unless you break this for a rejection. They pushed up, you got your sales set up off of these candles right here. And then you drop. But you already know where the direction is because you have had an idea of where the institution is trying to go based off of this sweep up, this move down, and then this return to price, and then this expansion. Right? Got it?
Yeah, got it.
Tell me if you get it.
Mhm.
Okay. So it is not going to be there all the time because sometimes this will range, right? Sometimes this will range. Let me go back to that chart. Let's show you. That is a buy to sell example. Let's see it again over here. Go to the 1 hour. It's not there all the time, right? But it's there enough, it happens enough that you guys can take advantage of this if you're not going to be able to make the session, right? So that's 12. This is 3, right? 15. Low. High. Intermediate high. Right here. And you wouldn't have got that setup, but you could have got a break and retest from out of this high and this low. And you would have got break and retest set up right here to take this, right? So this is just, this is a good way to find some entries during these downtimes when, you guys can't get on New York, can't get on it. So I just wanted you guys to see it and study it, and just, do your homework on it.
Hey, are you using Fibs or not?
Nope. No fibs. No, you don't even have to use fibs on that. You just want to focus on that midnight at 3 a.m. candle. Find your low, your high, and intermediate lows and highs. They're either going to sweep the highs or sweep the lows and run it in a given direction. If they don't run it and it just consolidates, you can just trade the break and retest out of that area. So that's your 3 options. Again, let's look at, I think it happened over here. Midnight. 3. Short-term low. Actually, that's 245. That's 3.
Is there a situation where there wouldn't be a short-term low?
Mhm.
Okay.
But I mean, no, there's not going to be a.
No.
There'll yeah, I take that back. There'll be situations where you might not get a short term low. You might get a low. Like there's no short term high here. This is the high.
Okay.
There's the short term low would have been here, and then the actual low of the session over here would have actually been here, May at 3 o'clock. And in this case, we just kind of ranged, right?
Mhm.
And you would have had a break and retest set up using this low. We
So
still,
the low is directly, I'm sorry. So the low is directly under the wick,
not
the body.
no, that has nothing to do with it. The
Okay.
low was here on this candle, right here.
Okay.
This body that I'm annotating is a short-term low from off
Okay.
of this candle right here. That has nothing to, this low right here has nothing to do with this candle. If I move this candle, you'll see that this was a low that was made short-term right here,
Okay.
but it was taken out on this candle and made an even lower low right here.
So Corey, how are you making that half a line like that? I mean,
This tool right here,
okay,
trend line,
trend line, okay.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And then I'm just drawing it out however I want it to.
Oh, okay.
So Corey, essentially you're doing, you're looking for a high, looking for a low, looking for the 50% of that, the difference, and then entry.
Nothing to do with the 50%.
So what's the second, you said intermediate.
Intermediate high,
Short-term.
intermediate low, within that range. So the first thing, like I said, you want to find the 12 o'clock candle
Mm-hmm.
and the 3 o'clock candle. That's the first thing.
12 o'clock candle. And then the 3 o'clock candle.
12 o'clock candle and the 3 o'clock candle, right? And within that range, you're going to find the high of that range, which in this case, the high of that range is here.
Mhm.
You're going to find if there are any intermediate highs or lows. There are no highs intermediate, but there is this intermediate low right here. Then you're going to watch for how price reacts after it makes a low within this area. Made a low here, right? So in this case, your high is here, your intermediate low is here. It swept this low right here, traded back up near the high, and you would have had your setup after it rejected around here to take this trade to the downside for the rest of the day. You don't even have to get in another trade.
I have a question, Corey.
Yep.
Are we doing this just on the 15 minutes? I missed it. I don't know if you said it or not.
You
Oh,
can
does
do
it
it on
matter?
higher time frames, but you're better off getting the entry based off of the 15-minute or the 5-minute.
Okay. So,
And
so it's our preference, which time frame?
there's not a preference because if you're patient and you watch and wait for whatever is potentially going to happen, you'll get it on either one.
Okay.
You just
Wait.
need to focus. The primary thing you need to do is make sure you annotate 12 to 3 and then find your high and your lows and watch what gets swept. Right?
So but I'm doing that on the hour time frame, right?
You can just mark the candles off on the 1 hour time frame.
Then the
Yeah.
highs and the lows on the 5-minute,
15-minute.
15-minute. Okay.
Yeah. And then, just like in this example, high, short-term low, low, right? That means they just took liquidity out, short-term liquidity out right here when they broke and closed below this. They didn't go any lower and they returned near this high. As you're watching this, you would have seen, okay, cool. They rejected right here. They pushed up right here. There was a rejection right here. I can at least attempt to take this trade from here. And I know that I can use a small stop loss above this high, or if you want to, this high. And your risk reward on that trade would be good, you know.
One more question, Corey. Now you told us to pick a pair. Does
Yeah.
this work on every pair?
Any pair,
Okay.
any pair. This is your risk reward. You're 6.5 to 1. That's you know, at worst case, if you're taking this, you're 6.5 to 1. If you lose this, you're only losing. I don't trade this pair. I'm thinking this is 8.36 pips to gain 54.54 pips on this trade. So,
But it's gonna move at a different time than because this is that's the Swiss, that's the Chrome, yeah. So that's gonna move at like what, I don't know, 12 my time. What time is the midnight?
your 12, your time is 3 a.m. over here,
Okay,
which still is inside of this range.
okay.
So it's from midnight till 3 a.m. Let me see. After homework, we should do a listen and watch party at these times. Wale boy, Anna's markup is here.
Yeah, but
Again,
that's not bad. I can do this because that's 9 and 12 my time. Finally, something working out in favor for me.
yeah, that's why I'm showing y'all this. So
Check
that
second one. Corey,
So
check.
I'm literally putting high and low on here.
I mean, you just
Or I
need to
just put the
know.
line.
You just need to know. So like
Okay.
Anna,
Can you
right?
check
You
the-
see how
Corey,
Anna,
can you check second one? This is low is a little bit up, right? Can you check second one? I
this
just,
one,
no. My chart means I gave 2 markups
okay,
in chat. Yeah.
okay. All right, so you were right the first time.
Okay.
The low in this session is right here.
Okay.
You have an intermediate high right here,
Okay.
and you have a high right here.
Okay.
For now, your range of interest is this high to this low.
And I can enter anywhere between this 2 high, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. But out of this, because we did this and came back up, your best entry would have been over
Yeah.
here
Best. Yeah. Exactly.
around this area right here.
Mhm. And that
So-
stop loss will be that high, right?
Huh?
Stop loss will be that high.
Yep. The high is fine. Yep. And then you would have, you know, if you got in anywhere in this, you would have been in this whole move.
Yeah. Yeah, there is
Yeah.
one more order block. I draw that.
Yeah. And of course, you know, once you get into this,
Mhm.
you're asking where is liquidity, where is the order block, or whatever, where's the fair value gap, whatever it is. And you would have been aiming for this,
Okay.
and it tore it all the way up right here,
Mhm.
even traded through it right here,
Yeah.
tore it all the way up. No ifs, ands, or buts on that, right?
Yeah.
Same thing over here. High, short term, low, low. Traded back up, took out this high. Got one drop. You could have entered right there, but if you didn't, you got another entry right there, and then you got your drop. And you don't have to get out of that.
So Corey, when it took out that high, on that, that's the one I had a question on. When it took out that high, how would you know it wasn't going to continue for a buy and maybe
This
it
one.
would, yeah, that one.
You don't necessarily know, but when you start getting this rejection right here off of this candle, then you get an impulse candle to the downside on this
Right.
candle. Those are your cues.
Okay.
If you don't get in up there, you have an impulse to the downside right here. And then you have an entry right there. You might not see it, right? Because it might not be clear. And in this case, I can see why this wasn't clear right here, but you had rejection over here. Like I said, you had rejection on those impulse candles, and you had an impulse swing to the downside right here. And if you just didn't feel comfortable getting in, you had another impulse to the upside, you traded back to this down candle, and you would have had a little 15-minute order block entry right here. If you still miss it, right? You still miss it. Impulse, break and retest right here. And then you trade this part. So you would have had 1, 2, 3 opportunities to get in this. And you even got a third, fourth right here. Because you would have at least been able to get the last piece of that. But that's a different kind of setup. Because now, again, fair value gap, boom, boom, hold on. Fair value gap right here to here. 50% came right around here. Entry right there. Drop right here. If you don't get it then, fair value gap high, never closes above, take your drop right here. And you would have had the setup within that given time frame to know something should happen during this time frame, because we're inside of this fair value gap. We just made a low, we just made an intermediate high, and we made a high, and it failed already once to go any higher. And we're inside of this, bam, rejection, 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 rejection. Take your trade, drop. Take your trade, drop.
So Corey, is it just coincidence? We just looked at sales. This works for buyers as well during this topic?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Let me find a buy example.
Can you find one on SPX or US 30?
Of course.
Thank you.
Our last buy. Let's see. Perfect example. Okay. So now you're keying in on this high. This intermediate low got taken out. So your focus is on this low, right? We swept this low or made this low, right? From this point, we swept this low and made this low. At any given point after that, if you are seeing that we getting this rejection, this is your area you can look to enter in from for a buy, starting at this level right here, down to this level. Anywhere in here, you could look for a buy and would have been safe to take this buy. So you had this low, this high, this intermediate low, knowing that once this low was taken out right here, we just took liquidity. We just took the liquidity out of this range, right? And we actually went in this range at 9, right? But we held it through that time frame, right? From midnight till 3. And at 3 o'clock, we took it out. Let's go back over here. 3 o'clock, we took it out around this area, right? And as soon as we took that low out over here, we held it. We made one last low, and you could have bought anywhere in between this. You even got some additional confirmation knowing that you're in an order block as well over here. So you would have had a couple, a lot of things that would have actually helped you with that entry. Where did it go? Over here. You would have a few things that would have helped you with that entry. But same setup, high, intermediate low, the lowest low of that area. You wait for it to get taken out. Either one of these, either the high get taken out or the low get taken out. It took out the low. It held the low. It didn't just keep going. It held the low. Now you can say, all right, cool, I can probably buy. You would have had plenty of opportunity to get in over here, all the way up to 10 a.m. and so on. Let's look at it again in another area. 10, 3. Looks like the high was here. Looks like the low was here. This didn't take any liquidity. It just traded through it. But here's your range. Breaking retest out of here. There's your entry candle over here. And then you had a retest right here. But here's your range though, right here to here. We didn't sweep either one of these. We just traded through this side. But there's the same situation, but it gave you something different. Midnight, 3. High. Short-term low. Or we could use this. And then a sweep. Did we keep going? No. We traded back up, back near this high. We didn't push above it. Your entries over here. You take this drop. You take that drop. And that would have gave you the trade for the day. Today I did not use this, but I use portions of this concept to understand where we were to take the trade that we took, right? I know we had already left this area, right? So if we take what we just did and use the concept backwards, we would have known to sell from where we did, right? High. Intermediate low. Low, right? We had already made this move based off of this, right? Where this move would have been a clean buy, right? But given that we had already made this impulse and we had already started getting rejection around this area, I already showed you guys where the gap was here. I had already showed you this was here, right? And then 50% of that is roughly around here. Right? So I'd already known that this had happened, right? And we'd already made this load. So we'd already created our impulse and we had already traded to the next institutional area, right? Which is inside of this gap up to this order block. And as long as we weren't trading through that, you can know, all right, I should be selling off because I have left one institutional area to another institutional area. I held it. I have not decided to change and continue in this up movement at this point. So I'm going to continue to drop. And that was the logic for this. We already went to one area. We already left that area. And now we reached the new area to go drop. Let me see. Want to know if this is close. I can't really tell, but I can tell you that you did not do this correctly. What about this? Is not annotated. This
Oh,
is
okay.
annotated.
So that is before the 12 o'clock candle. That next candle after the circle, that's the 12 o'clock candle. That's the midnight candle, right?
You need to mark the midnight and the 3 a.m. candle.
Oh, okay.
And then once you mark it, find the highs and the lows and the intermediate highs and lows in that range.
Okay.
But like I said, for this setup today, after seeing this and understanding that the move was made from this area right here, based off of institutional order flow. And then having price return to a new area, if I cannot break through this, you know that you have it set up to continue in the original direction of price. And then after you see that, your targets are going to be liquidity or order block or some key area, right? And in this case, we got liquidity below this level, and then we got a monthly, which could be our target. So,
Corey, I have a question.
all right.
Just like where you saw this move go up and it didn't go through that order block this morning, and so it traded off. Now it's trading back down into this order block where you got mocked out off the
Mhm.
So with the same philosophy, when you think that now, because it didn't trade through, that it could be now going up, back
Could.
up.
It could. Yep, definitely could. We have this order block is what you're talking about right here.
Yes.
And we're actually right around 50% right now.
Yeah, it actually it bounced off of my 70%.
Off of it once.
Yeah.
So given that, that's typically why, that's why I'm not like looking for nothing yet, right? Because I know we already left this area to get down to here. So I'm not looking for the buy yet until I see, all right, cool. I see some rejections and I'm seeing that it's ready to go. But as it stands, nothing's showing us that it's ready to go back up yet.
Right.
Nothing. We got one rejection here. We got one up candle here, but we follow that up with some down candles. So no, for me, not ready to go yet. Not
It's
ready.
gonna be interesting to see the 9 and 12 candle tonight as I go back and look. Just
Yeah. I would pay attention to it. But either it's going to hold here or it's going to trade through, take out this liquidity.
I mean, Corey, that's really cool. You know, there was like multiple confirmations on that entry that you guys took, though. I mean, that I like the 12 and the 3, the 12 and the 3. But if people are looking at, if we're looking to add multiple confirmations, you could have looked at like support and resistance. That move when it came back up, where you got in, that was at a 50% level as well. So that should have given all of us like a really good feeling about even wanting to take that, you know?
Yep. Yep. Multiple confirmations.
Hey, can I share right quick?
Yep.
All right. Gotta make sure my browser clean of any nonsense up there. Ain't no nonsense up there. All right, cool. Oh, you see it?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So I did it on Bitcoin. So why not try it? It said 12 and 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I had it. When I went down to the 15-minute, it looked like this was like past 3 o'clock. So that's why I got the high right over here. Because I was at 3:30. Hey, I'm talking, baby. Take that over there, okay? I love you. All right, so yeah, I got the I put the high, the low, and I put an intermediate low and an intermediate high. Is that right?
That's right.
All right, cool. And then I went back and looked at the hour at this fair value gap on this candle and saw this retest right here, that rejection. Now, what would I have to look at in this price trap area?
The low get taken out. And
Okay,
if the low holds, if that low held, the original low held, and you could have taken the buy from there.
Okay. Because that buy happened at you talking about this buy on this candle right here?
No,
Okay. So which one?
round 6.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Wait. Around 6.
And if you didn't feel comfortable with it, you would have had, hang on. If you don't feel comfortable with it, you would have had 2 entries right there. This entry or this entry. Or you would have had the break and retest right there.
Okay, when you said the low got taken out, because this is the low right here, and I saw this area break
The
below
low
this.
got taken out
Mhm.
right on these candles right here.
Yeah,
And it held.
okay, because it held right here.
It held where I just circled.
All right.
And after it held, you could have been taking entries right there, or you would have had the impulse to the upside, move back down, move up. So you would have been able to take the trade from this area,
Mhm.
from this area, or break and retest up here.
Okay. Because I was under the, I see what you're saying, but I thought that once that low got broken right here where it closed, but like you said, it held, but what would I have looked for to hell after it broke the low that I had marked up?
That I just told you, this low right here is the low of that session.
Yeah.
And we don't break and continue this. We hold this low.
Okay, I see what you're saying now. All right. I thought
This
because the
low,
candle broke it is what, okay.
the candle broke it. It took the liquidity from this area right here.
Mhm.
It took the liquidity. And that once it swept below that, it took the liquidity. If it was gonna keep going down, then you know already we have a reversal, right? And we didn't. We had the impulse rejection right here after this low got taken out right here.
Okay.
Once that low got taken out, you could be aggressive, enter in down where the circled area, or you let it impulse and return here and look for entries over here.
Gotcha.
You still don't feel comfortable. Here's the high, the last high over here. You can break and retest right here to go up from there.
Wow, I feel like I just been reading this the whole time, because that's why I got asked twice on that breaking the low, because right here, because you said this high got broken with this candle, right?
Mhm.
That's what I thought was going on down here. So I thought it would have kept going, like this one kept going up. But the difference here is that it just didn't come back down into where that high was, right?
The difference there is you are looking at a different entry setup. But you would still, like I said, you're trying to see where the liquidity is taken. The liquidity in this range, there was short-term liquidity on both sides, right? There was short-term liquidity here, here, and here. It took the liquidity out over here first. I'm sorry, it took the liquidity out from the high right on
With the
this
wicks.
right here, right?
Mhm.
After it traded down, it took the liquidity from the low over here, right?
Mhm.
If this was going to keep going down, that means that when we ran back up into this right here, we don't need to come back up here at all. We would have continued to go down to another area, right? We don't do that, right? Instead, at this area right here, we trade right here and we hold. And we push back up, we hold right here. And then we reject to keep going. Your entry is over here, because if you enter down here, you're more risky, but your stop loss is pretty much never have to worry about moving.
Nice.
You enter over here, your stop loss is here. Your entry is around here. You still don't have to worry about your stop loss moving.
Gotcha. I'll have some more questions later,
Okay.
but I like it. Yeah, I like it. So, and then also with this market, this is just looking for the setup. I was trying to listen while I was driving, but I'm home now. So just the setup is from 12 to 3, and then we're looking for the trade after that time frame. We're just looking for what it's doing with liquidity wise and setups and all that after that.
You're looking for where is it leaving liquidity in that time frame. So you, like I said, once you recognize that you've made a short-term high, short-term low, within that time frame, you're watching to see where it takes the liquidity out. If it's take it out for a buy, or does it take it out for a sell? If it takes it out for a buy and price returns near the low that it took out, is it holding? Right? If it holds, then you can take the buy from there. If it takes out the liquidity from the top and it holds when it gets back near the buy area, then you're looking for it to return back to those highs to see if it's going to hold and reject to continue to the downside. So if we go back, let me steal the screen again.
Nah, go ahead. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I was kind of wondering that same thing. I was noticing. You do it for me, it's the 9 candle and 12. Anyway, so the 12 and the 3 candle. Then to get those highs and lows of those 2 time frames, then the move is happening usually after that, because I'm noticing it's moving on into the 5 cut 6 and sometimes into the New York.
Sometimes it does.
Okay.
Sometimes it does. But that's why I'm showing you that it's more so where is the liquidity at that given time.
Okay. And once it gets taken out,
Once it gets taken out, that's when you're all right. Here it is all together again. This area, you can drop down again. This the high, low. This liquidity took it out, right? You got an opportunity for a setup for a sell here. It took this liquidity out right here. It came back, took the high out over here. Liquidity is going over here, but now you got the actual move off of this trade. You wait over here. So overall, you would have had one chance to get into it here. And then you would have had another chance to get into it over here. And a lot of times it doesn't happen within that time frame, but when it does, you can get in without having to worry about the trade for the rest of the day. But if you already see, I have this range set up between this given time, I'll focus my trading day on what happens at this high, what happens at this low. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that seems pretty clear.
Even if it doesn't happen in that window, you know, it sets you up for what you might be dealing with for the rest of the day. And it happens often enough that you should pay attention to it, you know, because even in this, right, high, intermediate low, low, right, it made another low, it swept this low, made another low, but in between this low and this low, we never went below that and we held in this area. You would have had so many entry opportunities within this box right here, almost to the point where you could have just put in any amount, any size trade and just bought it, you know, and you would have been in for quite some time.
Can we do this live one day? I mean, I
Yeah.
know that's a lot to ask.
I mean, I'm not gonna get on no call at midnight, but I mean,
Wale's voice.
in Wale's voice.
All right, so I think I see what's going on now. So, where's my little pen at? I don't know what my pen is, but so pretty much on the one on October 6th, where it says low, that's pretty much a liquidity grab that at the bottom down there. And once you have the liquidity grab, you're looking for it to hold in that area, like another opportunity where it holds and enter.
Mhm.
Vice versa. If it did it at the top, then you would have been done at the buy if it did a liquidity grab at the top and then held up there, like retested.
Mhm.
Okay, and then one more. I'm gonna ask one more. Go over to the left. I think on the 5th. That one that you have marked up on the 5th. So right there, the liquidity grab was to the top side, right? Where it broke
In this
out.
case, it just ranged. It didn't give us that setup. It just ranged, right?
Okay.
But what we did get is this low, this high, right?
Uh-huh.
Once we made this low, we pushed up above this little high right here,
Okay.
made another high, it rejected it, and then we held this low right here.
Mm-hmm.
We could have been looking for buys right here in this area.
Mm.
After it didn't break below this low or retest this low, we could be saying, all right, cool, it's gonna turn around from here. Because we never came back down and take this low out.
Okay, because is there another low from what it looked like? Is there another low at the body of that 15 right there? Do we need to have another low there? Like, is that a liquidity grab, that wick that pushed down?
This one.
It is?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is the low of the session.
Uh-huh.
This is the low of this whole little session right here.
Uh-huh.
And this low stayed intact throughout that session.
Okay.
Even moving into after that and on. So this is because this low stayed intact, you can say, all right, I'm gonna here, use this low as my stop loss. You would have had a decent, really small stop loss from this area to here, or you let this happen, and then you would have got another entry right here, or you could have broken retest right here.
Okay.
If you don't
Well,
feel
that's the
comfortable,
sniper entries, Corey.
that's what I'm trying to show you how to get.
Okay.
So if you don't aggressively take this entry, right? Let's say you would have been looking right here, somewhere along this area, right?
Mhm.
You would have been looking at 68 pip stop loss here, 50 pip stop loss here. If you get this, if you don't feel comfortable, all right, you get this low made, you make an impulse to the upside. Now you're saying, all right, if it come back and hold, I could have got it from here. This entry, you would have been using this low as my stop loss. Then I'm still 42 pip stop loss, right? I don't have to worry about it. If you miss that entry, then you're looking at, all right, breaking retest over here. I'm using this low as my stop loss now. And then now I got to be like, where is it going to? Because in order to get some pips, I got to look for last down candle order block. But I got another entry right here. It came back again and it held the top. Still same target. Last down candle order block on this move. I would have made profit on any one of those entries. And in this case, the stop loss could have been adjusted to here and you never would have had to worry about that. So
I think you taught us something like this before.
I probably did. Probably so.
Because I remember us drawing up boxes at those time frames.
Probably. Probably so. But I'm gonna go over this again on the how-to session too. Because I'm hoping that more people will have some homework. And we can discuss it then too. So but yeah, man, I think this will help you guys. And that are that are looking to trade during those, those after hours that, you can't get on during, pre-New York and stuff like that. So
Man, these nuggets, man, you don't have me never getting no sleep. It's beautiful, bro. This is lovely. I'm loving this. I'll be on this all evening checking it out, doing my homework and looking at this replay of this session. This is awesome.
yeah. I hope so. I hope so.
I have an unrelated question. Is that okay?
Yep.
Okay, so you know how the Satoshi, right, is a smaller form of the smaller dividend of the Bitcoin. Do all coins have like dividends? Are they all broken up into like smaller coins like that?
I don't know enough to give you a honest answer. I can give you an honest answer, and then I can give you what I think, because I don't know enough about coins to say yes or say no, but I don't think they do. One is because a lot of the coins aren't big enough to have minor bits of them. Bitcoin is just like one of the largest ones and the highest value. So it can have the room to break up its coins into smaller increments of the coins. Don't think that there's another coin that has that the ability to do that.
Okay.
If it is, yeah, let me know, because I didn't know. If you see it or hear it.
Well, I was thinking about that because I was I think it's like Bitcoin billionaires. I listened to their podcast, and they were talking about the Satoshis, and I was saying, well, I think they said like a million Satoshi equals 1 Bitcoin or something like that. And I was just wondering if the other coins did that as well.
Yeah, yeah, like I said, I'm not 100% sure, but I gotta get you to focus, man. You all over the place too much now.
And that's the truth. That is like the honest to God's truth. I was just saying that to myself.
Yeah, man, you be having like too many random questions. We gotta get you to focus.
But they don't be random to me. It's like you say, well,
It's not.
Study, but I be trying my best to like.
Yeah, but
I just know
like
that
you
by the
all
time
over the place though. Yeah, you all over the place. You gotta lock in on the charts. Don't worry about Bitcoin. Like I told you, like I just want you to focus on Euro USD. I want you to learn Euro USD to the point where you know everything about that. Like, don't worry about Bitcoin. Don't worry about no Satoshi. Don't worry about no, what did you ask me the other day?
About the pre-search tokens.
Yeah, don't worry about none of that stuff.
See, okay, now this is where I am in my mind, right?
No,
You know how everybody get in?
listen.
Yes.
Whatever is in your mind now,
Okay.
forget it and focus on. Don't look at nothing else until you
Okay.
know how to mark up and analyze Euro USD.
Okay. I promise I will try my best to do that.
No, don't try your best. Just do it. Just do it. Don't try your best. I don't want you to try your best. I want you to just do it.
Okay.
Can we agree to that?
Yes.
So she's on the same kind of road I am with the AUD USD. That's what we just stick
Yeah.
to that.
You guys are bouncing.
Not
over
me. I'm not bouncing there. I'm trying to
Nah,
learn this one.
Yeah, you bouncing all over the place. You know.
But I'm not
And-
trying to bounce all over the place. I'm trying to catch the next wave before everybody else does.
But if you don't understand the basics,
Yeah, that's
clearly,
true.
you can't
That's
catch the wave.
That's
You can catch an L.
Hey, like Gunner said, you're gonna mess around and drown trying to ride a you know what wave.
Right. You can catch an L all day, all day and all night. That's what you're gonna catch.
Hey, bro, can I share my screen one more time? I think I got this. I'm understanding it. I'm gonna share it one more time, real quick this time.
Yeah.
All right, so I went to GCAD. You can see it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, marked up, 12 to 3 o'clock. Went down to the 15. I got the,
You left one thing.
What's up?
You don't need both of those lines at the top or the bottom. You really just need this high, this short-term low, and then this low in this area.
Gotcha. Okay. Hey, so I don't need this one, or no, I don't need this one.
You don't need that second one.
It needs to be right
You just
here.
need- Yep.
All right. Gotcha. And what I did was, oh shoot, my bad. What I did was, once I seen this wick reject like this, I just went ahead and put that entry right there, because I thought it broke the low of the whole hour of 3 o'clock.
That's cool.
Okay, because when you go to the hours, it's when the market up is going to automatically end at 4 o'clock. So that's the way I was looking at it. Can I look at it that way or no?
You can.
Okay.
You can. But let me see. You can definitely look at that. And you would have been saying, all right, long as I'm good. Yeah, that's cool. You would have been looking at this to this right here. And this would have been your trade. But look at where we came back to. Right. So you would have been able to take this, but you would only had one chance to get in this. Two, because you could have got in near this low, or you could have got in break and retest up here. But now when you came back near these highs over here, that actually set you up for what was going to happen, which was this sell-off.
All right.
But definitely you could have taken that buy too.
For sure. All right, cool. All right, that's all. I ain't gonna hold you up.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay.
Corey,
Yep.
so on that example that Brother Chen just showed, that was the correct move to take that buy, right?
Yeah.
And you only knew that it was going to sell off when later when it didn't break the high.
Exactly.
Okay, cool.
Exactly. Exactly. Your initial move would have been like, okay, we took liquidity from the lows that were made during that section, from the lows, right? So I'm going to take this buy if it presents itself. And it bought to last down candle, last liquidity pool on the top side, right? That's where it made its highs, right?
I don't know if
Then-
you're showing us your chart, but we can't see it.
I'm just talking about it because
Okay, from that example, I got it.
yeah, because Chin had it on his. But can you open it back up, Chin?
Wait, I'm coming, hold on.
All right.
Right here?
Okay. So his low during that session was swept on those candles down here, from here to here.
Where is the pointer?
I don't see any markups.
It's coming
Got it, got it.
from here to here. So the low was this yellow line during that session. And then at any point, I made another low. My next low was here and I held. So at any point after that, I'm okay to buy. You already know you're going to try to buy to this whole area, at least to these highs, right? Because that's where liquidity is. That's where this move came from, right? Now you're saying, are we going to take this high out over here? We don't take
Okay.
that high out.
Can I pause you for a second, please?
Yep.
And when you go back to that low, when it took out the liquidity, and then it made that that hammer, that strong wick, you said hell.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So how do you determine right there? Are you saying it's hell before it moved back into that trade zone? Because it could have, stopped there, like retested that low and then dropped.
It could have, but you got another rejection candle right here, another one right here, and now you even got a break and retest situation right here. So you can be
Right.
aggressive, get in at the low on one of these candles, or break and retest.
I got you. So the aggressive move is the rejection candles, and the safer move is the when it breaks back in and break and retest back there.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yep. And,
Okay,
and
go
to be
ahead.
all honest, the safer move, you get less pips, but you know that it cleared this level and came and held it again over here.
Right.
And then in the opposite direction, now that I'm back at this high over here, I reject it because I'm getting rejection candles, right? If I can't trade above this, I know I can take this down for the sell. And my thing is, I'm going to be looking at it at least taking out that low that it made.
So for this buy, first TP should be this high, right? And
Yes, sir.
if it took out like liquidity, then we can see for that next sale, right?
Mhm.
Okay. And otherwise, if I get rejection from here, then I can get in here for sale, right?
Yep.
Mm.
And let's just say you went against that and you tried to, like, all right, here is the high, right? I got the rejection, right? You
Mhm.
don't have to use a big stop loss because you can either say, I'm gonna use this high, or if you scroll over to the left a little bit, Jen. Can you scroll over to the left? you got any one of these highs right here, here, or right here to use as a stop loss. And those still wouldn't have been that big stop loss.
Hold on, Corey, I don't see what you're pointing to.
Yeah, where is your mouse?
Yeah, I was about to say your pen's not working, I guess.
Over here,
Okay.
you would have had this area as a stop loss,
Mhm,
or this area, or this area.
mhm.
But they all would have been tighter stop losses than, like, say you use this right here, and then you tried to trade from here to here. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm. I can.
So
Excuse me, Corey, curiosity question. I'm gonna figure it out when I back test this, but I'm gonna ask you, where we see that high didn't get taken out, and so we knew we was gonna be looking for the trade for the pushback down. That's a 15, would you consider that a 15-minute order block? Because I know you use that terminology when you refer to price running into order blocks and not being able to trade through. So
Right
you
here.
look for it to move back. Yes, sir.
mhm.
Would, because you're on the 15-minute with this, do you consider that 15-minute order block, or is it possibly, and do you look for a 1 hour order block at that same area?
There's a 1 hour order block right here.
My bad, I just changed it.
It's okay, but you can
Okay.
already see it. It's right here.
Right here.
Gotcha. Yeah.
The only difference, I mean, like, I just don't like looking at them on 15 minutes because sometimes they aren't accurate. But if you want to, you can look at it. Just, just understand it could trade through it. But you will get a real accurate entry though. In most cases, you will get a better, like a really accurate entry. And like, even sometimes I'll go to the 5 minute and use order blocks from the 5 minute too. And, really get like try to get really precise about it. Because if we looking at it from the 5 minute, you getting all the way right here. And then that's when you're looking for your entry right there. You even got the move from it, right? You would have had entry right here for this drop off of that same move to here. Then we never broken close of this area right here. You would have had it all the way down here off of the 5 minute candle.
Hey, bro, what about, could this be an order block right here because it's higher than these all over here? This one on the left?
Yep.
Okay.
But just understand that using this, it take patience, right? It take a little more patience, right? Because you are saying that I am going to let it trade into an order block from a higher time frame. And I am in this order block from a higher time frame, and inside of there, it can react any place it wants to, right? But when you go down to the smaller time frames, you're looking in even more precise area. All right, it might push here, or it might want to push higher, and you can take those smaller pop shots to try to get in, so that's all. It might play around right there a little bit because maybe it want to react to a higher level on the daily, right? But like, or on the 1 hour, or on the 15 minute chart, right? So like, if I'm down here at the low of the 1 hour order block, I'm probably not going to come to the 5 minute and look for a price reaction over here, right? Because if you did, You just put yourself in the drawdown all the way up here until it finally moved. And it's a chance that within this time frame over here, that you would have closed the trade out by mistake. Thinking that it's not going to drop, thinking that it's just going to keep going up, when all it did was just push up a little bit higher into the order block and then just drop anyway.
You just gave me another study I gotta look at. That usually, and I guess you can answer this. So usually though, and you may have taught this, where you find a 1 hour order block,
Mhm.
you can go down to a lower time frame and generally find an order block on lower time frames within that same 1 hour.
Mhm. Mhm.
That makes sense from some basic fundamental trading that I learned years ago. They say you usually see the same move on a lower time frame that you see on a higher time frame.
Fractal. It's all fractal.
Practice, right? Exactly. All about the fractals.
It's all fractal. Everything you see on the higher time frame, you're going to see on the lower time frame. And you're going to usually see it first on the higher time frame, and it sometimes it flips. Sometimes you see what's happening on a lower time frame happen before it happened on the higher time frame, and that's a lot of times that's usually going to be at a rejection or a reversal area, right? And you'll notice, right, like even on a like these candles right here, these were full body candles at one point. We don't see the rejection on the daily at all until after it's over with, right? But if we come to this same little area over here, draw a line over here, right? Let's draw a line right over here to this area. We can see what it actually reacted to, right? So that same little area, let's see. So that was that high. You can see already, here's a 4-hour order block right here, right? Same area right here. If we want to break this down even further, let's go to the 1 hour, right? We had that top of that candle reject basically at this low. So that's a one other area we could have broke it down to. Go to the 15-minute. Go to the 15-minute and look at this one right here. That's an order block. Go over here. The high of this candle is at 44338. The high of this candle is at 44318. Basically, you came into this order block right here. So you see how we started on the higher time frame on the daily, then broke it all the way down to see exactly what candle it reacted to. It reacted to this 15-minute order block right here. And it makes sense.
Yes, sir.
So, and then let's take this same little area right here. I bet if we go down to the 5-minute even, let's go. We can get even more precise.
And there you go.
Right here.
Yep.
The high on this candle, 4433.4. The low on this candle, 44.29.3. It was reacting to this one little bitty move right here. So from this candle, you can take this all the way over here. And know that this one little 5-minute order block did all of this damage.
Love it.
This is literally the candle that they filled all of their orders on right here. On that 5-minute candle. And we haven't been back there since. We haven't been back there since. So yeah. So, and I remember this too, because there's something else right there too. There's a breaker right here. And I remember that last week, I knew it was going to drop from here, but I wasn't paying attention to the chart. I think Wale, you called me.
Hey man, thank you for that. I needed that. That was clutch.
Yeah, I remember you calling me about this.
Hey, Cord, I wanted to break an area that I mentioned to you about in Discord or Telegram. You said just to remind you, was that area?
I don't remember.
No, I honestly can't remember. Remember, I was like, the break area was around 26, so I think that is, because that's at 44.30. I remember it was at 44.26. And we had a rebalance candle after the breakup that ran into a rebalance candle going the other way. And that's what I was asking you about.
Okay. Let me see. Right here.
Yep. And then it ran into the sell one.
Traded down through it over here. Popped in it a little bit, but let's see. 4 hours. That was the only time on that 1 hour. Yeah. This one didn't rebalance yet. There's a little gap between here. So this one didn't really rebalance.
You were not
Slightly.
you were not in that sale, Cody, right?
I didn't get in it.
Yeah. That was breaker. You told us.
I didn't. I wish I was in it though. I was in this little buy up from here to this point, but I didn't. No, we had gotten the buy down here. We had gotten the buy down here. And we bought it up to this point, and I didn't catch the sale.
Yeah. I was waiting for a little bit more push upside. Then I'll take that save, and I missed that.
Yeah. Because there is a breaker right over here somewhere in this area. Right about here, roughly.
That was 44.25, around that.
Yep. Slight right at 27. And knowing that that was right there, I basically just threw the fibs on it from here. from here to this line. So I pretty much knew where it was gonna reject from, but I just didn't have time to get in it. But it's spot on. And next time I got on the phone with somebody, it was Wale cheering because he had got in it. I was a little jealous. I ain't gonna lie. But it's all good. It's all good.
Hey, Corey.
Yep.
So I have a question, but it's not related to what you're talking about, but it's about trading.
What's going on?
So when you like check the news, like the fundamental analysis, do you have like a keyword that you look for, or is it just like logical or common sense that you use?
There are key words in general. Like it's not just one thing.
Mhm.
So if we were going to look at the market today,
Okay.
there's like a couple things that I'll look out for, right? A really, really good thing to watch and look for is this 5 things to know before the stock market opens. That's usually a good place to look because it kind of give you the key things to look for. And these would have been the 5 things, right? So we had Wall Street looks to avoid 3-day session loss, House vote short-term debt ceiling, Southwest, we not really paying attention to that because we trade in indices, GOP, Texas governor, probably not too much going to pay attention to this. And then Bitcoin worthless, right? If we trade in Bitcoin, we want to pay attention to this, right? But inside of this, right, we're saying we see this word steady, elevated bond yields, right? Elevated bond yields means pressure on the indices, right? Downward pressure.
Okay.
So that would have, elevated bond yields means that we should have a negative effect on the market, right? Then we had latest jobs, turnover survey. We know we need to watch for the jolt jobs right here. Economists expect 10.9 million jobs opening unchanged levels. So keywords like that. And it's basically anything that you hear that's provoking some type of direction, right? Steady, elevated,
Got it.
Unchanged, words like that, weakened, like you see, weaker than expected, right? Stuff like that, concern, surging, stuff, words like that that are describing, that give you some type of angst or some type of direction. Those are kind of things that you want to look out for when you're reading the news, right? This 5 things to know before the market is definitely one that you can take a look at. And then
Can you drop the link, please, before you move on?
Oh yeah, I'll drop it. But this is gonna be changing. Like this changes every day. You just want to just go to CNBC, and usually it's at the top of the page.
Business.
Okay. Right in the morning, it's at the top of the page.
Got it. Okay.
And then on Bloomberg, the top story is usually the one that you want to pay attention to.
Okay.
And then if you don't see anything that stands out like IBM, American Airlines, this probably wouldn't have been one that I would have looked at, right? But if you don't see a headline that stands out here, scroll down to this area right here and look for the markets. And then in the markets, usually they're going to have an interview or something, right? And then you're going to just hold on. Yeah. This markets. Okay. You're gonna have a little interview window, and then you're gonna take the same approach, right? Stocks look steady, right? Impact elevated inflation, let me see where the profit outlooks can repair sentiment, meaning there's some damage or some downward momentum in sentiment, right? Apple slipped, right? Definitely a lot of stuff that stands out right here. CPI, inflation remain elevated, right? Again, we didn't see elevated in reference to yields quite a few times, right? So it's already kind of hinting towards upward yields means downward indices. So it's already kind of hinting towards it already, right? Let's see, up and coming flurry of economic earnings release. We got earnings release coming up soon, window where the business expect price pressure to crimp profit margins, right? So this is kind of hinting towards the fact that the earnings that we do get coming up soon might not be as great, right? They're already implying business expect price pressure to crimp profit margins, right? Meaning my earning reports aren't going to be as flashy as they were maybe the last quarter, right? Backdrop, slowing economic growth, big keyword, right? Again, elevated inflation. Pair stimulus is causing investor jitters. There we go. Another sign, right? And you can just go and pick through this, right? At all times, right? Then you want to pay attention to this area. Here are a few events to watch for. FOMC, PPI China, initial job claim, that's on Thursday. Pay attention to this. This is saying futures fell already down 2.2%, and this at 7:30 Tokyo, right? Already down, showing downward pressure. And more key hints, right? To kind of give you an idea of where it's going. But that you kind of gotta just, usually before I get on a session, I'm usually going through and tearing through this, just looking for sentiment, right?
Okay. Cool.
Yep. And then of course, you're getting my FX book. You are all right. Tomorrow we know core inflation rate, medium, high, high FOMC, right? We already know to expect something on that during that time. And then I just validated over here on Forex Factory. Here's my red folder here, got some orange folders here, and then got another orange folder here on USD. If I'm trading AU, GA or something like that, I'm paying attention to the other red folders over here, but the main ones I'm paying attention to are the ones related to USD.
All right, cool. Thanks.
No problem. You done moving?
Yes. Yes, I am. So I finally got back to this, I'm ready.
Good.
I'm still doing all the trades on my demo. I did one this morning. So I don't have a live account yet.
That's okay.
Okay.
Don't get it until you feel comfortable.
I agree. I will wait until I'm ready.
That is so true.
Don't get it until you feel comfortable. There's nothing wrong with trading demo. Especially if you learn, it's more important that you learn how to trade than making money, actually. Because if you learn how to trade, you're gonna make money.
Mm-hmm.
And now that we know that you can set up an account with a prop firm, you don't even have to have money. You can just get the prop firm account with FTMO, trade that, and now you ain't even got to trade your own money. And you'll end up making more money.
Hey, Corey, on that point,
Yeah.
can you take a minute or two, whatever it takes, to explain what was the conversation about those FTMOs, one of them not working well with people or something, or closing up?
Funding talent. Funding talent is no longer on the recommendation list, to simply put it.
Okay,
They have revamped all of their platform. They are they are like taking people money. They're not paying out
No,
like
they're
they're
not.
supposed to.
oh,
Like
wow.
they're doing a bunch of they doing
Yeah.
they
Who's
doing a
doing
bunch
this,
of stuff.
Who's
They
doing
doing
this?
this is funding talent.
Uncle
Funding
Corey,
talent.
keep it. Uncle Corey, keep it together. Your nephews are here.
Yeah, I was about to cuss because I'm very upset with them, but and a lot of people are very upset with them. But basically, something happened, and they just out of the blue just revamped their whole setup, like without no warning. Literally one day they came back and said, you know, hey, you're no longer gonna have your account. And if you do have your account, you're only gonna be able to take like 25% of the profit, where they were 90% of the profit.
Who
and
did this?
funding talent. But the one that I have always recommend, they just, you know, were a little harder to pass, was FTMO. FTMO is a lot better. They actually, the only thing that they had against them that we didn't like initially is they did 70% profit split, and funding talent did a 90% profit split. But they changed theirs to 90 and 80%. So so now it's pretty much better than the funding talent, and they do it on demand when you can get your money. So you don't have to wait. Like normally with funding talent, you had to wait 2 weeks to get your profit. Then they change it to a month. And now they basically change it to you ain't even getting profit. You're playing, as they annotate it. You're not even trading, you're playing. So, and I'm doing that with air quotes right now. That's why I said it like that.
Mhm.
So,
They responded to me, by the way, Corey.
oh, word.
So I had a trade that I held from that I opened on the first, right? And I closed it, I think, on the 7th or something like that. They didn't give me credit for the amount of days I had that trade. Even if I was taking profit within those days, they only gave me credit for 1 day.
For opening the initial trade,
Yeah.
bruh.
So when I say like 20K on the tables just wiped off, yeah, it was wild. But you know, it's a percentage of that, but it's still money that they took out of my pocket because they didn't like explicitly say that. But I don't know, FTMO all the way.
Yeah, don't even. I'm still gonna keep mine just because I have it attached to my my trade copier, but I don't care what happened with that account. I'm just gonna let it just do what it's doing. But if you're gonna do it, and then another thing why I like FTMO is they give you you can get a demo account, and you can kind of get used to like trading with the account. and you know, get comfortable with the lot sizes and all that stuff. Like honestly, y'all, I don't even have live account. I take that back. I'm over exaggerating, but I don't really. I trade my live accounts, but I don't really care what. Like I ain't gonna say I don't care, but I don't really focus on my live accounts anymore. My focus is building prop capital, because if you think about it like this, and I want y'all to watch this video. It's a long video, but he says it better than anybody. Oh, let me drop this in there. Let me drop this in the chat right quick.
I used to use one of these. I think it was called Pro Trader. I have to check. Back when I was trading futures, it was difficult, but I tried it a few times unsuccessfully. So
I know of some other ones too, actually, that you can do too, where you can trade stocks and futures. But Wale sent me this video, and I was already trading prop firms already, but this video right here, it hammers it, the nail in the coffin, right? It's long, he rants, but this right here is a video y'all need to watch right here, because he's gonna put it to you guys in layman terms as to like why you should focus more on learning the skill versus like trying to make money right now. Because if you know how to, if you learn the skill, people will give you money to trade with, and you're going to make more money than you would make with your own money.
So welcome everyone to this seminar hosted
So,
by the Institute.
and like that's the key factor out of all of this. Even even the other guy I follow, ICT mentorship, right? I do that as well, right? He say the same thing. Focus on learning this skill set more so than actually learning how to, more so than making money, right? Because people, if you can show you can consistently do this, people will just give you money, because there are people who just want to be able to make money without doing anything. And if they give you the money and you can make them a certain amount of money, they just gonna give you, like, here's a story about me that y'all probably don't know. My first trading account, somebody gave me $10,000 to trade with. I lost that shit, but they gave it to me, you know? And, you know, he trusts me because I had shown profit, you know, in some other accounts, you know, where I was making money, you know, and I did do good with his account, but initially I blew 10K. And you know what he said after that? He was like, I figured you would, but he and I are still friends to this day, you know, but and he knew, he was like, yeah, man, I knew you were gonna blow it, but I still trust and believe that you were gonna pick up this skill. And that's what I did. You know what I'm saying? So at this point, you know, I can go into some other stuff that we got going on, right? But like, you know, he knew I would eventually learn how to do this, to the point where he trusted to give me 10K out of the blue, you know, just off of some showing him some stuff that I had learned from Tim Sykes and Ross Cameron and stuff like that. And he just was like, all right, I'm gonna send you this. I don't know what to expect from this. I'm cool with whatever happens. But from what I had learned, even though I didn't do it with that 10K, I gave him trades that may have made him probably over $200,000. based off of what I've learned. Like he would send me his charts or he would send me his stocks, right? And he would say, hey, I need to analyze this because he didn't know how to read charts. He didn't understand like this. Tell me what this means. Tell me what that means. Let me go back to, I even got this on my trading view. Some of the stocks that we were looking at. Hold on. Let me go to my ideas.
I'm just gonna let you know now that I'm gonna screenshot those, just so you know.
I mean, these are old, so these ideas won't be relevant anymore.
I just yelled darn in my head.
Let me go to my profile on here. So
The one we want to look at is the FTMO.
Yep. So ideas. I used to put this, put all my ideas up. I don't do it anymore. So I see 2019. Yeah, Outlook. Let me see. Okay, here we go. This one right here, I think he made like, I know he made multiple six figures off of this trade right here. This is some projections that I gave him to buy at this level and around this $6 level, at the 10 level, and then from that point on, right? And this shows you where my analysis is, all that kind of stuff, where my projections are, all that kind of stuff. And then if we can hit play, you can see where it is right now. So
Did you take your own trade, Corey?
I didn't. I didn't even take it. I take that back. I did, but I didn't hold it as long as he did. I took it at 10.6, and then I only made it up to like $50. But he, on the other hand, who has a lot more patience than me, he was up here somewhere before he got out. So, that was one of the stocks. And then this one right here. For some reason, this one ain't coming up. Okay, I don't know what's going on with that one. Maybe they got delisted.
Do I gotta follow you on TradingView in order to get these?
I don't post them on here anymore.
What?
Yeah, I don't post them on here anymore. This one went to $4, and I don't know why it's not showing up. But these three in particular, I just learned, especially this ENPH. Let me see. You were one. Yep. So this one, we bought around here. We bought around here. And then he held, I think he's still in this. Matter of fact, I know he's still in this, because I think we just talked about it not too long ago. BTE. This one didn't turn out right. I don't think. Yeah. This one, we we did get it to $3, but I don't know if I think he stopped out of this around 250. Around 250 area. And then it just turned. But this was one that he's been in for some years when I used to trade stocks more. So, and I think that's why he wasn't mad at me because he was just like, all right, cool. Y'all lost 10 racks, but I made you way more than that. So, yeah. So, you know, but if you do the funding town, I mean, FTMO, you can do the same thing, but you don't have to worry about losing actual money, you know? So focus on the learning part right now. But anyway.
Can all these be found on TradingView, all your things, so if we wanted to look at them, or we can't? That's like private.
I mean, all of this is on there, but I haven't updated this since in a while. I haven't put nothing up here in a while. I think it was last year around this same time since I put anything up here.
What made you stop posting to TradingView?
Just you know, because I started trading in the mentorship, I didn't want to just be posting this up, you know, because people, you know what I'm saying, you know, what you paying for, you know what I mean? Like you paying for the mentorship, or you can just come to my page for free and get my ideas, you know. So.
Hey, Corey, another question on FTMO. If do you get any perks or anything if I sign up through a link that you sent?
I think you do. I think so.
You send me a link, please.
I don't even know if
I think you have to be an affiliate, huh?
I
You
don't think I have it.
Yeah, I don't think I have it. Yeah, you didn't do it. Me and you didn't do it. You didn't. Well,
they do have an affiliate program though.
I know that for sure.
Let me see. Let me see right quick. Profile. Profile. Yeah, I don't know where it is. I don't know where. I don't care about no affiliate stuff, but I don't even know where to go to get it. Client area. Yeah, I don't care about no affiliate stuff, but sign up at least do the trial anyway. So affiliates. Yeah, I don't even know where to go. Yeah, don't worry about it. I don't know where to go. And I don't care about no affiliates. If anything, open an account and let me trade it. I can get some more. I don't care about that.
Okay.
Yeah. But maybe I'll start posting stuff on here some more. That's what I'll do. I'll start posting a little more on here. And yeah. Yeah. But all right, y'all, I'm about to hop off. I'm about to go work out real quick.
Wait, did you already drop the link?
Oh, let me stop